Hi divas, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and welcome to today's video, which is where we're going to be reading Haley Pham's new book, Just Friends. I promise I will look presentable in the next video you see of my face. Okay, so I wasn't gonna film this video, but then I texted my bestie. I was like, hey bestie, do I film this video? She's like, well, I'm gonna do it. It's not too late, because I was like, I think I'm $1 or what is it? A day late and $1 short. And Bessie was like, no, you're not. So here we are filming the video. I've read probably like 40 pages so far, and we have also digested the book in person together for the first like 20 pages. And let me say first, here's my lore with Haley. I have watched her on and off since she started. I really loved her videos like very beginning, before she was anything book related, like when she was a high school ballerina, like vlogging. I will never forget my friend Ellie, my bestie Ellie, sent it to me and was like, I think you'd like her. She's kind of like Emma Chain B vibes. Anyway, way older than her, enjoyed her videos and her editing. And as time went on, I think I watched her videos like on and off. And as time went on, like especially like COVID, when she had her like COVID wedding and stuff, I was like, oh, I don't know, you know what I mean? Can you get the vibes without me saying it? Okay. And I don't know. I haven't enjoyed her content as much. And she's part of like, how do I say this like in a nice way? Like the very, not even like conservative as conservative in politics, but conservative in politics, but conservative side of book talk. And I'm not. Which, no offense if that's your vibe, that's your vibe, and everyone art is subjective. But the point of the story is I haven't watched her as much in the past, like probably like, my phone's across the room, so I could not be bothered to go get my phone to film this clip. So we're on photo booth. Hi guys, I'm editing this. I don't know if I'm saying what I'm trying to say. I don't know if my point is coming across correctly. What I'm trying to say is like she's a very niche community, like giving me like Watermark church vibes. And also, no offense to Watermark church people, but you know, like conservative Texas types that get married like super young. Nothing wrong with it. I love that journey for you guys. It's just not my journey. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Like, I'm just not, you guys know me, I'm an independent girly, I'm a feminist, I'm like kind of the opposite. So I don't always like run towards her content. I do like booktube content, obviously, so I do consume every once in a while. But I was saying like all this to say is the lore behind my opinions on Haley, I was trying to keep separate from reading the book. It didn't go very well, and I had a very hard time like getting into the book, but we'll go over it later in the videos. You guys will see me getting into the book. But anyway, those are my thoughts on Haley. 3 or 4 years, but I click on her video every once in a while. I'm just not like a stan, right? Anyhow, the point of the story is I was very intrigued when I heard she was putting a book out. Then obviously, as everyone else, whenever that girl put the review out, I was like, gonna need to do some research when this book comes out. So I bought it immediately. But I've been in like a little bit of a reading slump, and if you're curious, yes, I did fail 75 books. Because and not necessarily like I got burnt out. I was still doing it until I went to Amsterdam, and then I went to Amsterdam and I was like I could have made time, but I just didn't. But I have read 2 books so far, which I probably should put in a different video, but I'll just put it here. So I've listened to 2 celebrity memoirs. One was Lisa Rinna's. I cannot suggest it enough, especially if you have even an ounce of like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills lore inside of you. Anyhow, book was so good. Also listened to Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. Also really enjoyed it. Anyway, the point of the story is I'm trying to go into this book with an open mind. I've read about 40 pages, and I have to say like all the first page I was like, and here's my deal and my guess of how I'm going to feel by the end of this is, and what I've taken so far is, this is me before reading the entire book, guys, okay? It's not that the words, because everyone keeps saying like the words are so big. I don't think it's that the words are so big. I think the words are awkwardly put, and some of them just like don't make sense in the context of how she wrote them. But like also at the same time, I know how big of a deal it is, especially as like a creative, to put your heart and soul into something and put it out there for like her, especially millions and millions and millions of people to judge and critique. I do have to put this here and mention that I honestly can't believe that the conglomerate I'm so sorry. I can't believe the conglomerate of pedestrians thing made it into the final copy after she got so much feedback online from it. So I will say that. Say like, this sentence doesn't make sense. Are you dumb? Especially like with her not graduating high school. Like I can only guess that she had such like imposter syndrome in writing in general. Anyway, so to write a book and everything is a huge accomplishment and amazing. I don't want this to be taken as like hate, like it's such a big thing, but also so far I have not enjoyed the book. So we're 40 pages in. I don't know what chapter that is, but we're gonna read it together. So TBD, let's see. Let's not talk about this eye patch. I don't even know what's going on. I do have to say that the Summer Friday eye patches are next year. They actually stay on your face. They look insane right now. Actually, you know, I think it's just I look insane right now, but let's get into reading. We have a lot of reading to catch up on. I didn't realize what time it was. I gotta chug my coffee because it's almost 1.
I'm so excited, and Eamon is somewhere over there.
Thoughts so far. Have we talked about this already? I think we have, but really quickly, I just want to cover because I am now almost 15% in. I'm on chapter 5. And I want to chat about it because first of all, I've been seeing a lot of people, and I agree, like I enjoy Haley Pham's content, and I loved, like, I don't know, I have a weird relationship because I don't love the fact that she's probably but anywho, I've enjoyed her stuff for like a really long time. So I am so proud of her for doing this and doing the dang thing because it's so scary and so hard, and she's a New York Times bestseller, but it's just like, it's not my favorite, and I really tried to go in open-minded, but honestly, like with social media, it's just like not possible. And yeah, so right now I'm standing with the fact that it's not what everyone's saying is like she's using these big words. It's not necessarily big words, it's just like they're awkwardly put together, but they don't make sense in the context of the sentences. But like I said, I'm 5 chapters in. Yeah, I'm almost to chapter 6. So anywho, another thing that I have noticed, maybe I need to go back and read because I started reading this like when it came out, and I just picked it up yesterday. But her friends, like I wish there was more, maybe there will be more and more as we read, but I wish there was a little more like information or like context on the friends. Like it just kind of, if I'm remembering correctly, the coffee's not in my veins yet. Oh my god, I'm going to throw my computer across the river. What do you mean? What do you mean? Anyhow, I forgot what I was saying because my computer is like killing me. Be back so I don't crash out on film. Good morning, divas. Hi. So my original plan of the day was, oh, I'm gonna wake up early and go into town because I want to go to Brown Thomas and wanted to go like grab a coffee, do something. But the reality of it is it's about to start flooding outside for starters, and also my back is killing me. I don't feel like going, and so that's the fun thing about free will, is if I really want to do it, I can go tomorrow. Also, I feel like half the places are gonna be either overpacked or underpacked for it being Mother's Day. I don't really know, but happy Mother's Day to all the divas. I guess is it everywhere that it's Mother's Day? I think everywhere in Europe today's Mother's Day. I don't know. TBD. I'll have to research that. I had the best time last night. I went to myself on a date for my 7th birthday. We went to Ivy Asia. You guys, insane. We'll be going back. The atmosphere and like the interior of the restaurant itself was stunning and amazing, but the staff there was like literally next level, like next level. Anyhow, it's like 8, I think. I just made my morning coffee and today we're gonna read. For reading day, I am gonna work out, and I do need to do a little bit of like cleaning, just like my basic cleaning I have to do every few days because it's Europe, so it gets dusty very fast. Anyhow, but I wanted to give you my updates on Just Friends by Haley Pham. I am not disliking it as much as I thought I was going to off of like the first few chapters. I do like it. The only other thoughts I have like right now are, we got to the part where I was about to say Haley, Blair. I think it's I just don't love Blair. There's the only things that like I have notes for it. A, I just want to say like I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. B, there's bits and pieces I don't like. Like I wish there was more information and backstory on her friends. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like I just wish we had a little more context. It's just like her telling us things about her friends and then text messages, and it feels like nothing really in between. And then the other thing is, which is also a short book, it's very hard to write a beautiful, like a story with all the details and all of the like hitting all the marks. And the other thing is, oh right, so Declan shows up to her aunt's funeral, and I think I wish there would have been like a little more build up with that, or a little like more, I don't even know what to say, but yeah, those are my notes so far. So okay, you guys, I just hit 60%. I also just spilled half of my brand new container of instant coffee down the sink. Slay. Okay, I literally just sent a voice memo to my bestie Maddie because she's also reading it at the same time. Or she might have finished already, but I have to say I have more thoughts. A few thoughts. First of all, I'm sucked in and I actually really like it. It's cute, it's wholesome. Like, is it the best book I've ever read? No. Is it like the best debut? Obviously, as an author, you learn from or as a creative, you learn from everything you put out. So the same goes for anything that you're trying new. But what I wanted to say is, I've already forgotten. Oh, right. I feel like I'm reading this like as Blair, with Haley as Blair, like reading it in her voice and like how she talks, which obviously she's the author. I do think like their big miscommunication trope is so dumb, but overall like it's cute. Right now I'm thinking it's probably gonna be like a 2.5, 3 star, but you know, it's cute, it's wholesome, young adult vibes. I have hit 75%. The friends to lovers to enemies to friends, now they're lovers again. Hell yeah. Anyhow, I'm still really liking it. There's really not much to update other than it's adorable. Okay, I have another thought. This thought this time is about like the grief part of this book. I obviously haven't finished it fully. I have like 10% left, but I do like how Haley wrote about grief, and one of the important like parts of the story is about how she feels, or maybe not one of the important parts, but one of the parts of the story is how she feels like her friends like weren't there for her during this grief she's going through. And she kind of explains it when she's talking to Declan at one point, and I feel like it's so important. It's because whenever you lose someone, especially like for the first time, you realize that the grief is only affecting you. You feel like the world is stopping around you, but the truth is it keeps going on, and that's like one of the things you learn whenever you're grieving someone close to you. And so kind of like discovering the expectations around when you lose someone close to you, if that makes sense. Anyway, I think she did a really good job at making it a real and raw look at grief without making it too dark, obviously, because it's a lighthearted book. Anyway, okay. And also, I think I relate so much to the grief part of this as a character, because in your 20s, especially your early 20s, I was different because I had lost a lot of people in my life already, but a lot of people in your 20s have not gone through loss, so they don't really know what it's like. So your friends don't really know how to show up for you. So that's a very real experience of like losing someone in your early 20s, I felt. So I think she embodied that very well. Like actually sobbing. Why am I crying over this silly book? Oh my god. Got to go. All right, girls, I am here. I've given myself a little bit to think through my thoughts. We've finished Just Friends. Okay, I have to be honest, I was like the biggest hater, okay? I was the biggest hater. I can admit when I'm wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. Okay, overall, I enjoyed the book. I think I was a little harsh. The lighting right now is just like terror. I can admit I was a little harsh, and there were parts in it that I was like, eh. I still stand on the fact that there are like awkwardly put together sentences. It's not that the words are necessarily like that big, they're just odd. They don't necessarily always make sense in this way they're used, like in the sentence. There were parts that were like clunky and I didn't enjoy, but overall it was a sweet book, very wholesome book. And I thought it was a cute little read. I still am confused because I don't know. I've looked it up and like I asked Maddie and she said it's a young adult. So like if it's a young adult, like that makes sense. Like it's very like young adult, wholesome, cute. And if it's a romance, it's also, I guess, wholesome and cute. But what I was gonna say was, I forgot like another big thing that I felt, which I don't know if it's because it was like a no spice book or like what. It didn't feel, I felt like there wasn't like that much chemistry between the two. Like it was just Haley telling us about their draw to each other. I mean, not Haley, Blair. I don't know if that makes sense. Like it was believable, but also like I felt like it did lack chemistry, and that's my issue with like more young adults. I think the issue actually, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, is I'm so far removed from like that age. I don't know. Does that make sense? So like I related a lot in the grief and stuff, but a lot of the rest of the stuff I didn't relate to at all, just because I'm so far removed. Like I'm almost 30 and she was like 22. Is that how old you are when you graduate college? 21? I don't know, whatever. Anyway, point of the story is that I just want to mention that is like another thing is I felt like the chemistry was like a little off. I don't know. Don't shoot me. But I feel like that's kind of how it is when it is like more younger adult, and like juvenile is not the right word, but I am so confused if this is young adult or not, so who knows. I still feel the same of the thoughts I had throughout the book, which is I wish we had more context with the friends. I think, I don't know. I was telling Maddie, like, I feel like it would have benefited if it was a dual POV. I don't know, there was just there were little things like I didn't enjoy. Like it felt like we were beating a dead horse with the mental, like with her running away and the mental health of it all. Is that mean? I feel like it's a little mean. I don't think it's a horrible book. I think it's a lighthearted read. I think she actually, as someone who's experienced grief, did a good job at balancing grief and making it lighthearted enough, but also, you know, deep enough. And there were things like yielding to a conglomerate of pedestrians that I will never get over. And I still feel the same. The first quarter was really hard to get through. Once I hit about 50% is when I really got sucked into the book and the characters. Overall, I would probably give it like a 3.25. It's not one that I'm going to be suggesting to everyone I know, but it's a fun, lighthearted read. So yeah, that's basically it. Okay, I'm gonna go now. We'll see how much footage we have. I don't think I have that much footage, so we'll probably carry this into a reading vlog and not just a finally reading Just Friends by Haley Pham vlog. So yeah.